thirdly, it has to do with politics, the political system. Do people trust it? Do they have confidence in it? Or do they demonstrate in the street? At the end of World War I, there was a fight between the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and the Ottoman Empire, which was Muslim, all of the Middle East, from Turkey on down through. The two of them were fighting against the rest of us. At the end of World War I, the Ottoman Empire was divided into a whole series of countries, and Jordan was formed. Palestine, or Israel, was formed, the British protectorate. Syria was formed. Iraq was formed. Saudi Arabia. And in Turkey, which had been the head of the Ottoman Empire, Ataturk, the new president, said, we're going to make our country like the rest of the world. We're not going to have women have to sit in the back and be covered up and do all these things. And so he outlawed the veil, he outlawed the fez, he outlawed the Cyrillic alphabet, began to dress in Western clothes, began to take the country into modernity. And this so offended some radical Muslims that in 1928 in Cairo, Egypt, they met for the purpose of reestablishing a Sharia law and a Muslim empire. And they called themselves the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, in order to do that, that meant that they had to do away with those other countries. Those countries that were now with Muslims leaders didn't want those radicals taken over, and so they have fought against the Muslim Brotherhood for all of these many, many years. Israel was attacked repeatedly by these folks, most certainly when they became a nation. 48, then in 1967, then again in 1973. Golda Meir in 1978 said to the new president of Egypt, he said, why don't we quit this? How about if our children and our grandchildren don't have to fight anymore? And the new president of Egypt, a fellow by the name of Anwar Sadat, said, I'm with you. Let's do it. And so when you sign an agreement, you need to go to some place that the whole world respects. So where would you go? Would you go to the United Nations? You go to America. And they went to the lawn of the White House, and they signed the peace accords between Egypt and Israel. And Anwar Sadat sealed his fate with the Muslim Brotherhood. And so, in 1981, during a parade, they were marching by, and he's there with the leadership of the nation, and they stopped and sprayed all of the dignitaries that were there, killing President Anwar Sadat, killing a vast number of them. But the vice president, Hosni Mubarak, dove off the back of the grandstand and was injured, was winged as he was falling, but he was able to recover. He became president of Egypt and then did to the leadership of the Muslim Brotherhood what they tried to do to him. And that has been basically the case in the interim period until 2009. And I would encourage you to go to the website, the White House website, YouTube, and find the very first speech that President Barack Obama gave on a foreign trip. He went to Cairo, Egypt, and he told Hosni Mubarak, our friend that made peace with Israel and been an ally, he said, you're not invited to my meeting. He invited the leadership of the Muslim Brotherhood to sit in the front rows, in which he explained to them that the place where he had grown up, he had never been a Boy Scout or gone to Sunday school and done these. He listened to the call that was on at midnight or whatever it was, that was the sweetest sound on earth, and sent the message to these folks that no longer would America be in opposition. And now, these months later, in Tunisia, in Libya, in Egypt, throughout North Africa, every one of those countries are now headed by the Muslim Brotherhood for the very first time in history. 70% of the parliament in Egypt is Muslim Brotherhood, including the president and the vice president. If we continue on this road for another 4 years, it will be very, very dangerous for freedom, for Israel, for America, and for those that love freedom.